driver. You've unlocked a previously locked playlist. Want to give it a shot? The Motorfest invites you off the beaten track for its wildest experience, the Off-Roading Series, a rugged championship that'll see you through jaw-dropping remote locations. What the Motorfest series is all about, beating professional drivers on their own turf. Than racing across a variety of terrains, you'll also get the chance to try out a bunch of off-road vehicles. series comes with its own professionals. This time, you'll meet Pierce, a British off-road specialist invited by the Motorfest to help guide you through Hawaii's complex terrain. There isn't a place in the world that Pierce hasn't visited. As well as being an outstanding mechanic, he knows all about off-road environments. Your side, you'll never get bored. He's extremely skillful, enthusiastic, and just a little unpredictable. It? The promise of adventure in the air? I can't, of course. I'm an AI, but I bet you do. Off-Roading Addict, a series championship by Motorfest. Let's see what's coming up. The first step, a quad race. Perfect to get you into the swing of things. word from Pierce so far, but he'll get there. Told you, unpredictable. Motorfest invites you to rendezvous at Peacock Flats, your best taste of true freedom on the island. What's this countryside more than a good old-fashioned pickup? These typically American cars, originally designed as work vehicles, have grown in power, modernity and style, but still maintain their true essence, off-roading. Here you will be driving a Toyota Tacoma, a very popular truck here in Hawaii. To enjoy the open expanse. But don't forget that the championship is also starting, and those first points count. Hopefully Pierce will show up on time for the second race. Ready for the second step?
Can you hear me? Sorry I'm late. Bloody traffic jam. Don't worry, I'm on my way. Where was that path again? Let me check my map. Oh, right, there you are. I'm coming. Oh, sorry, where are my manners? I'm Pierce. They call me the off-road specialist, but simply off-roader will do. Pleased to meet you, my friend. I'm going to do my best to share my knowledge and scout the field ahead, so you can avoid any nasty surprises. Lesson 1. Always know your environment. There we are! Oh my word, what's that? Okay, hold on tight. You're gonna love this. Now that's what I call a bloody landing, my friend. Whoa! So, a Toyota Tacoma. Great choice. A bit modern for my taste, but Japanese trucks are more than reliable. This descent is going to be shaky. You'll need to keep your speed up if you want your suspension to hold. A beach full of wrecks! Glorious! What a ride! I couldn't have imagined a better first meeting.
Event is a few kilometers away. Feel free to follow the shore for a while. When it comes to off-roading, there are a surprising number of viable vehicles. You might think that only a sturdy, high-up four-wheel drive could do the job, but there are actually way more options. Tried the quads and modern dirt track cars. Now it's time to go with a more compact and versatile option, the motorbike. Our choice, the BMW R1200 GS. of driving, so we're able to put you out on a very special route. Certified daredevils only. You're not ready for this?
Okay, I'm right above you. Let's do this. You're biking this time. Not quite the same experience, but I can tell from up here, you're gonna have a lot of... Okay, I'm right above you. Let's do this. You're biking this time. Not quite the same experience, but I can tell from up here, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Wow, nice! And it gets better. Wait for it. And here it comes. Whoa! Oh my days, that was insane! You guys are even crazier than I am! Shall we have another go? Obviously that's the plan, but we have to climb back up the mountain first. That is an awesome bike you got there. A BMW R1200 GS, if I'm not mistaken. One of the most reliable and best-selling motorcycles ever. Back on top. It's time to give it your all, my friend. Full speed. Oh God, hold on to your clutch. Touchdown.
Take a deep breath. Where I'm taking you, oxygen is scarce. You're literally about to burn the rubber off your tires. And that's not all. Okay, no more teasing. We're talking SSV race in high altitude. mad ride.
SSV race on top of a volcano? Damn! I'm so glad I signed up for this. I'll fly around and get better visibility on the track. This soil is extremely hard, dry and rocky, a real car breaker. Luckily, the shock absorbers you've got on that thing are made for this kind of turf. Jump after the cave. This trail is beyond crazy. Motorfest really went all out with this experience. Epic first lap. One more to go. These little buggers skid on every turn. It's like a buggy, but with bigger brakes and more comfort. I need one. Keep left, my friend. The finish line is coming up. Fire! Awesome machine. I wonder if the motor...
Congratulations, driver! You've ascended a step closer to being a Motorfest legend. A new reward is waiting for you within the activity menu. The series will continue with the traditional off-road discipline, the cross-country rally. Try not to blush. You'll be up against some real stars. The Porsche 959 Raid, the Volkswagen Touareg, or even the Mini Countryman. A whole bunch of vehicles with victories on the biggest rallies in the world.
Here we go again. Same deal. I'll check the way from up here and give you a heads up when the rough patches are coming. Let me be the Chewie to your Han. A rally raid. The Motorfest sure knows how to seduce me with adventure. And a river runs through it. You've got to cross the river again. Watch out for the current. There's no rescue winch in this chopper. This Defender is like an old-fashioned rugby player. 400 horsepower under a 70-year-old bonnet. That's how we make them in the UK. Change of course, port side. I've done races in South Africa almost as exciting as this one. They were actually quite similar, except they had walking giraffes instead of floating goats. On your right, after the bridge. Expect a little surprise after this jump. They've pulled out all the stops for you. Go cross that line.
an expedition to explore the east of the island. Meadows, mountains, dirt roads and beaches. A program at the crossroads of off-roading. To accompany you in such a race, a famous lady with more experience than any other car, especially prepped for the occasion. The 1967 Volkswagen Beetle Rally Raid version. Even today, the Beetle still competes in the world's top rallies due to its iconic status and timeless look. Isn't just for show, that it can handle its own against the toughest contenders.
Is that goat doing in the sky? Get out of the way, you big... Whew, close call. Great! New terrain. That's part of the beauty of this island. Its incredible diversity of topography.
We'll get it this time.
Get ready to turn left on the hill. Amazing! This valley is simply gorgeous. It reminds me of when I crossed the Atacama Desert back in my own old Beetle. I got lost for 4 days, but eventually made it, all thanks to the old bugger. A beautiful love story. Until the engine broke down and I exchanged it for a donkey. Uh-oh, this is going to be tough. Oh, it's okay, don't mind me, just keep your foot down. Can you see the ocean, my friend? That is where we're going. Straight on. Okay, you're almost there. I can see the finish line from up here. Well done! That Beetle's still got it.
If you're in the mood for a little jungle tour. Your backpack and try not to get lost. As beautiful as it might be, I'm in no mood for spending a night among the local fauna.
Compadre. I see you've embarked on a 4x4 race through the jungle. That's bold, Call me Captain Obvious, but watch out for the trees. No sandy deserts in Hawaii, just beaches everywhere. Make the most of it. The wet sand is perfect for going at high speed. You're vanishing into the canopy. Even my eagle eyes can't follow you. I'll catch up with you when you come out of the rainforest.
Let's just rewind that one. Mulligan.
Everything okay down there? Still alive? Got you, my friend. Welcome back. How did you like that little jungle cruise? Wow. Okay, listen up. During the next few seconds, no matter what happens, do not close your eyes. You'll soon be out of sight again. If you end up in the mud, don't panic. The Rubicon's traction and huge 33-inch tires are the best safety insurance you can get. See you at the finish line. Jungle race was mental. You must be knackered.
The competition has reached its final act. One last race, one final shot of adrenaline to finish this off-roading experience on top of the podium. I think it's safe to say that riding atop the Waimea Valley will be the true high point of this series. Paths are somewhat narrow for large machines. We'll give you a more suitable vehicle, a motocross bike. The Kawasaki KX450F, to be specific, a bike that truly lives up to its reputation. Your opponent for this trial? The clock. You heard me. We're going for a good old time attack. Wild enough to make it on your own?
you get up here? Even my chopper is having a heart attack. So what beast did they get you for this trail? Let me see. Looks like a swift, maneuverable motorcycle, signature lime green. Say no more. This has got to be the one and only KX450. All right then. Ride, climb, fly. Anything's possible with this ride. Wow, what a sight! I've seen a fair share of them, but this landscape is going to be etched in my memory forever. You couldn't be more on the edge. Last time I saw something like this was in Bolivia. The Yungas Road, or the Death Road, they called it. I can't get enough of this view. The landscapes of this island are really breathtaking. Sharp right, then brace for the slope. It's a steep, narrow and technical one. Be extra careful. Whoa! Do not miss that bridge down there. Huge right turn. And back to civilization. Awe-inspiring adventure, my friend. It was brilliant. I've got
You've yet to claim your reward, driver. That championship was a wild roller coaster, and you nailed it. As always, an awesome prize is waiting for you at the container. I won't tell you what it is yet, but you can guess it'll be the kind of vehicle that can take you anywhere. Through coursing rivers, deep canyons, and across the greatest stretches of our plundered wilderness. The series experiences you'll find at the Motorfest might all focus on stiff competition, but they're far from identical. Each series is based on its own specific motorsports field. That's the whole beauty of it. You just witnessed it with this playlist. Clearly not your average showdown, right? Different series, different sensations. But one thing is sure, as far as views, thrills and wilderness goes, this off-road experience will be tough to beat. A playlist is available, driver. Playlist cleared and ready for takeoff, driver. I'm sure you've missed the thrill of off-road racing. Well, then you'll be happy to sign up for this new expedition. There are plenty of off-road sites you've yet to discover. So get your backpack. We're going deeper into off-road addiction, under the careful curation of our home specialist Pierce, the off-roader himself. Off-Roading Addict Volume 2, a Motorfest series. The island still has a few secrets to unveil. You'll see. To the next objective. This place. playlist is taking a wildlife documentary approach. Pierce has already ventured out on all the trails you're about to discover. He's scouted the field, marked out the paths, and chose the right vehicles. Busy, so he's not going to be with you live. But he's been making voice logs during his journey and has shared them with you. Those recordings will be accompanying you for every event on this playlist. Well, did Pierce gauge the adrenaline levels for this playlist? You be the judge, driver.
Off-roading addict, Volume 2, Entry 1, found this old tape recorder in the mess I call my boot. I mostly use it for shopping lists, but this has got to be a better use for it. Motorfest have sent me on a mission. It's all part of the new off-roading adventure. Here's the plan. I'm going on a solo trip around the island to find the best trails this land can provide. Oh my gosh, I'm buzzing! I'm currently moving along the leeward coast east of the volcano. The view is bonkers. I can see all the way to the ocean. This route, though, it's a real quagmire. I'm gonna suggest Motorfest uses that Falcon SSV. I really liked it last time. It's sturdy but agile, perfect for adventurers getting ready for their first battle. caught out by a downhill turn there. Anyone listening, you'd better be careful if you want to finish in one piece. Right, got a great first route all set, so that's me done for today. I need a place for the night, and this beach will do nicely. It's looking like it'll get cold tonight. Maybe I'll have a look in these wrecks for an old bottle of something to keep me warm. Might get lucky.
After setting up that nice SSV introduction, Pierce, during his little tour of the island, got to push the concept of going off-road to yet just another level. So much so that he's decided to lend you his own special Land Rover Defender for this next event. Back in. You got the gist of it, right? As you progress on these tracks, you'll still be walking in Pierce's footsteps, so I'll keep playing you his recordings. The adventure continues.
With quite a headache, but I managed to reach Peacock Flat and I'm ready to scout more terrain. Let's go for a dip. They told me to find new paths. They never said they had to be on land, so down the river we go. I'm riding the current like a Pacific salmon. Blimey, got a couple of them fish stuck on my back seat. Hang on, guys. My little friends on the back seat have made the supreme sacrifice. I completely forgot to throw them back in the water. Oh, this is heartbreaking. That path is magnificent, though. It's got everything off-roading addicts crave. I mean, just look at these caves. Aren't they just the dog's bollocks? The festival people are going to need a proper all-rounder to handle this brilliant path. Well, that's decided. I'm giving away my own trusty old Defender for that race. It's a little banged up, but it's the most reliable machine there is and a great companion. I can see on my map there's a passage up north. Looks like an easy downhill straightaway. Perfect way to avoid a detour. Oh, I take back what I said. Seems like all the off-road tracks on this island lead to beaches. Well, I suppose that's what you'd expect on an island, and it's actually perfect for our next path. Damn! Lost half my ruddy supplies in the river.
Turbulent experiences. Well, trust me when I tell you that there is more to come. Well, you've already had your SSV experience in the first race. You're going to challenge yourself even more in the time attack with a maxi buggy, the Peugeot 3008 DKR. This vehicle is elevated like a tractor, but weighs about as much as a Ferrari Stradale. I don't see how you could not have fun with it.
Log, entry 3. My pursuit of the best trails has led me to the North Shore. Motorfest wants a crazy race with all the trimmings. Once again, I'm going to give them their money's worth. Wild, rocky beaches are a real challenge. There's no single right path. Adventurers have to use their instincts and find the optimal way to exploit the terrain. I must admit, I wouldn't mind a vehicle with softer suspension than my old Defender right now. Back on white sand. The terrain should get less rocky from now on. Dunes in sight. It's gonna be bumpy. Now that's hairy ground if ever I saw it. A resort. Civilization. Don't mind me, friends. I'm just passing through. Enjoy your virgin pina coladas.
Remix.
I made a right mess of their garden. Nah, they'll just send a bill to Motorfest. So, let's talk vehicles. What can I recommend here? It's gotta be an official rally raid survivor, a car with real guts, something French maybe. They do make some nice machines across the channel. How about the Peugeot 3008 DKR? Sturdy, V6 bi-turbo, dynamic. Pierce, you old devil, you've done it again. That's the perfect choice. There you go then. You gobsmacked.
to sizzle reel you created, driver. You take to these wild fronts like a duck to water. Speaking of which, I'm getting forecast updates as we speak, and it doesn't look good for the next event. That's funny. Pretty much the same weather Pierce experienced as he was scouting that very part of the field. Pierce's colourful commentary will clue you in on what I mean. Getting close. Get ready for a little jeep ride through some particularly adventurous and wet terrain. Better wear your raincoat.
As I speak, the weather's rainy as hell. Reminds me of good old Berkshire. Her Leywood's fields are as muddy as can be. I'm looking for hidden waterfalls. Hopefully, they'll be like a small oasis for the festival adventurers halfway through this intense championship. For Motorfest, the Rubicon with its rugged four-wheel drive underpinnings is a good option for this kind of terrain. Wait, it doesn't have a roof though. According to my map, I need to go... yes, that's it, towards Waimea Mountains. weather's taken a turn for the worse. It's like a blimmin' monsoon here. Can't see a bloody thing. Ah, here they are. I finally found these waterfalls. Got to say, I was expecting something bigger. Now going through a series of curves on a downhill slope. It's a slippery ride, but my old Defender is holding up well. I spoke too soon, I'm stuck. Come on, you old wreck. Show me what your V8 is made of. Had to throw some weight overboard, but I'm finally out of this mess. Hopefully the compact Rubicon should hold better in the same conditions. In the backside.
It's all over with the rain, but the fields are still. Wet. Just the right amount of mud for motorcycling fun. Set up for an all KTM race. I'll let you find out for yourself why he made that choice. Good luck with the race, driver. The track is a real treat, wide and free of traps.
Log, entry 5. My last supplies got stolen by some wild animal last night. I cannot believe this. On the bright side, the rain has eased off and the dirt roads are much more passable now. I'm currently going down the hill. A nice fun ride in the morning with some fun and easy turns. reaching the wide expanse of Central pretty soon. I should get a whole different topology down there. Let's see how it looks. Here I am. I was right. Wide open countryside tracks. Guaranteed fun. Reminds me of riding motocross in the West Berks fields as a young lad with my cousins. Great stuff. Well, this is what it's gonna be then. A nice open mud playground for some fellow bike lovers to ride to their heart's content. Now, what kind of bike could they give the adventurers? I remember a superb customized KTM in the garage of the festival PR. I didn't quite catch her name. Mula? Honestly, head like a sieve. Well, anyway, she had a hell of a bike. A 450 EXC. Probably the best power-to-weight ratio four-stroke I've ever seen. Bloody hell, that's it, I got you. Don't know why that's sending me loopy. I've got to be careful. I haven't eaten in a while and Mother Nature might be starting to mess with my mind. Gotta take a break. It's gonna be a long night.